So they are going to be big players for the next 10 years.
But that is a step forward. The fact is that Manchester City were never going to win the title this season. I didn't quite understand all that sort of hype at the beginning of the season. What Manchester City were about this season was a decent run and maybe one cup, but particularly finishing in those Champions League positions, being in the biggest party in Europe. And, you know, the sort of Tuesday and Wednesday night.
Why was City not going to win the title this season? Why?
Did you
Quality of the players?
No, I'm just asking you, why not?
Because they're not in Chelsea's league.
Despite having beaten because the players aren't good enough. So, despite spending hundreds of millions of pounds, these players aren't good enough. Is that what you're saying?
Unless you're Mourinho, you don't have an instant impact. But as a manager, it takes time.
What do you mean?
Sean, your club hasn't won anything for 40 years. It takes time.
We don't have hundreds of million pounds worth of players. I mean, it's just ridiculous. If you're spending that sort of money on players, I think you're entitled to expect instant success or close to instant.
But football doesn't work like that. You cannot build team spirit.
They will change the manager again if it doesn't work out. They will change the players again if it doesn't work out. And eventually, if you spend 700, 800, 900 million pounds, eventually you will buy a team that's capable of winning the league.
You have to give
possibly
the manager
with a smaller squad.
I think
the bigger squad is the thing that causes most problems because you're leaving out really top-earning, big money players, and that for me causes too much.
Well, the thing is, you play Silva when you can't play Johnson. He wants to play narrow.
Well, exactly.
You know, how do you work it all out?
They were too narrow yesterday. I mean, Mancini clearly made a mistake. I mean, Wolves play with width, and Jarvis has been terrific, and they were far too
Wolves
narrow.
are better than people think they are.
I do love this idea of players being unhappy. And isn't it bad that players are unhappy because they're not in the starting team? If I was a manager or if I owned a club, I would be particularly unhappy if my player was happy sitting in the stands. And we went back almost to the sort of Winston Bogarde at Chelsea days.
Yeah, but haven't City got a squad to finish in the top 4 rather than win the Premier League?
No, I think actually they could win the league. I think, look, Chelsea are probably the strongest team, but they've only got 17 first-team players. Injuries can take a toll. Yeah. City have got 2 players for every position at least. Yes. They've, their fullback, the left back, who we saw in the World Cup, is as good as anyone around. I mean, whichever side he plays, I really like Boateng. He's a real player. They've got Barry. They've got De Jong.
Go and have a look behind the scenes.
How long do you want to give it? How long do you get right? You're in charge of Man City. How long?
He said next summer.
Next summer. You can judge Mancini properly next summer. If he's in the top 4, then that's job done for the season. You're wanting him to win the title. Actually, you want him out.
I think they're entitled to expect him to be challenging for the title this season.
They're not fools. They know it takes time.
Talking of the title,
I'm not a fool either.
Talking of the title,
prove it.
After 10 matches in the Premier League, it's the same old story. Chelsea at the top, 5 points clear, with Manchester United, Arsenal and the rest chasing. Can anybody catch Chelsea? We'll have a look at that next.